I'm professional house planner Jack Thomasson, and I've had the privilege of working with Shaw Floors on custom home projects for television and magazines across North America. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install Shaw's Floorte, which is Shaw's premium vinyl flooring. Luxury vinyl flooring is the fastest growing category in the industry, and part of the reason is that it's easy to install. Plus, you can install this flooring anywhere from the basement to the top level. The Floorte collection features the fold and tap locking system, which makes for an easy and very secure installation. It also makes these floors waterproof, even at the seams, which is an important benefit. Let's get started. Before beginning the installation process, be sure to read all manufacturer's instructions carefully. Most flooring needs to acclimate to the temperature and moisture of the room where it will be installed for at least 48 hours before installation. But Shaw's Floorte is impervious to moisture, so it can be delivered and installed the very same day. With Floorte, you can even install it over an existing floor. That's rare. You can install it over vinyl, even ceramic tile, with no worries about the vinyl planks sagging into the grout lines. Floorte is more rigid than standard vinyl products and will hold its shape. You can also install it over hardwood as long as the hardwood isn't glued down over concrete. First, make sure your subfloor is clean, dry, and flat within 1/8 of an inch in any 6-foot section. Use a straight edge to determine any low spots and fill them in with a cement leveling compound. Another important part of your prep work is moisture testing. Moisture under your floor can be its worst enemy. Now, you can buy an expensive tool to test this, or you can easily test your concrete subfloor for moisture by taping a trash bag to the floor along all 4 sides, creating a seal. After 48 hours, you can check to see if any moisture was captured by the trash bag. If you do think moisture might be a problem, it will be necessary to use a more advanced test. Follow the link below to learn more. With Floorte, you don't have to use an underlayment, but you can. Some people choose to use an underlayment based on comfort and sound. If you're installing over plywood that's been treated with a preservative or a flame retardant, you should use an underlayment that's at least 1/4 inch thick. Remove quarter round and undercut door frames to provide necessary clearance for your new Floorte. It's possible that you also may need to remove the baseboards. The materials and tools you'll need are a tape measure, utility knife, jigsaw, tapping block or rubber mallet, pull bar, 1/4 inch spacers, T-square, safety glasses, broom or vacuum, and transitions, also known as moldings, such as quarter round, T-moldings, and reducers. As you install, you'll want to pull planks from multiple boxes to achieve an even color variety across the floor. First, you need to decide which direction to run the planks. Many people prefer the look of planks running parallel to incoming sunlight. Some people prefer to base the direction of the planks on traffic patterns in and out of the room. The choice is up to you. If you're installing over hardwood, you'll want to install your Floorte planks at 90 degrees to the direction of the existing hardwood floor. Once you know the direction of the floor, you'll decide your starting wall. Most people start with an exterior wall because those walls are often straighter than interior walls, but either wall will do. Now, what I'm about to tell you may be the most confusing part of an installation. We're going to determine the size of our first and last rows. Why? Because the room will look more beautiful if the first and last rows are equal size. The sign of a new installer is a first row that's 6 inches wide and a last row that's 3. Before you start your first row, measure the room. Divide by the width of the flooring planks you're installing. How many planks will it hold? Half of what remains will be the size of the first row, and the other half will be the size of the last. Keep in mind, though, that no row should ever be less than 2 inches in width. You can make these width cuts with a table saw or jigsaw. Okay, it's time to install our floors. Facing the starting wall, begin in the left corner of the room with the cut edge or tongue side facing the wall. This is a spacer. You'll use 1/4 inch spacers to maintain the proper expansion gap around the entire perimeter of the floor and around cabinets, pipes, and any other obstacles in your room. Why do you need an expansion gap? Changes in temperature may cause the floor to expand or contract, and the expansion gap gives it room to do so. Place the spacers between the first plank and the walls. To fit the length joints together, slightly lift the second plank and fit its end tongue into the end groove of the first plank and rotate downward. If you feel that the end joint is not tightly locked, you can tap about 1 inch down from it with a rubber mallet. As you near walls, you will probably need to cut planks or tiles to fit. To make the length cuts, score the top wear layer with a utility knife, then snap it along the score line. As you begin the second row, you'll need to stagger the planks by 1/3 or half the length of the plank for an attractive natural appearance. Bring the plank in at a low angle, engage the long side seam, then fold the plank down into the end seam, making sure that the connections are tight. You can use a seam roller to ensure a flush joint. Continue to install the joining rows from left to right until you reach the final row, always maintaining the 1/4 inch expansion space at the walls. Remember, we determined the width of the last row before we started. Just cut the planks or tiles to fit that final row and then put them in place against the walls using a pull bar if you need it to secure the planks tightly together. At this point, you're almost done. You will finish your floor by installing the transition pieces, also known as moldings. Quarter round covers the expansion space along the walls and gives a beautiful finished look to the room. In doorways less than 6 feet wide, you'll need a T-molding to transition to a floor of the same height, or a reducer to transition to a floor of a different height. Then it's time to enjoy your beautifully finished floor. One final note: if you've installed vinyl floors in a room that receives direct sunlight, you'll want to close the blinds, shades, or draperies during peak sunlight hours, as prolonged exposure to direct sunlight may permanently damage your floors. With proper care, your Floorte vinyl floors will look great for years to come. Best of luck, and if you have any questions or need more information, visit our website or contact our product specialist support team.